Hello everyone, it is Susan here. I have been missing for the past week on YouTube. And yeah, so now I am back. I had decided last week to not post any videos. And I'll explain why in a minute. First, I wanted to show you what I've done. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. So obviously this is the wall hanging that we've been working on for a while now. And 4 of the blocks are sewn on. So this is what it's looking like so far. So all of these are sewn on. They're done, done. Now, today, we are going to sew this block on. And then the last block, which I still haven't finished, is going to end up going here. And then that's going to be the end of the wall hanging, and I'm going to get it onto my wall. And yeah, so I'm loving it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So while I talk with all of you, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and sew this. It gets a little tricky to maneuver this piece because it's quite large, but you know, so you might see me turning it and everything, but yeah, I have to, I definitely sew from the right to the left. It's just easier for me. Which way do you guys sew? Is that normal? I guess it's normal because it wouldn't, I guess you'd have to be a lefty to sew from left to right, I would assume. I don't know, makes sense to me. It feels really so good to be back doing the video, I have to tell you. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to look, and that's the other thing you're going to see me do a lot. I look on the opposite side, you know, where the actual block is, because I need to make sure that I am catching it where I need to. So like I need to go over a little bit more because I want to make sure I get fairly close to the corners, and I'm still not over far enough. You see that? Right now my pin is over here, but I do want to get it just a little bit closer to that corner because what I'm trying to do is make sure that the corners don't curl up. Now, I don't know that I did that the best for all of the blocks, but I did try. So we're just going to go ahead and sew. All right, so now let me kind of give you an update on, let me see, wait, first I have to figure out how to hold this the right way. Okay, first let me give you an update on last week. Yeah, so some of the blocks, really any of them, if this thread, which is light in color, if it were to go through, I'm not going to worry about it. But I'm also going to try not to do it to where you can see the thread on the block. You know, if possible, like I said, I'm not going to stress about it if I can see it, but I'm trying to get like just that first layer of fabric. So in some cases, there's like a lot to be able to grab onto as far as the block, because I can have multiple layers on the block. But in this case, it's really only the fabric that I sewed onto the block itself, and then the fabric that you see here. So there's not, you know, there's not a lot of extra to grab there, but it's working so far. So I'm just going to keep going, and we're just going to to get this on here. Now when I get up here, it's going to be, I think, a little trickier because of that burlap right there, but we're just going to keep going. So I'm actually getting to the burlap right now. So let's see. I might want to actually purposely go through to grab some of that burlap. So I'm going to give that a try. So you can see, hopefully you can see that the needle is actually coming up. Yeah, I think that that's going to be okay because I can see the stitches, but it's okay that I can see those stitches. So yeah, that's something I haven't done purposely on this whole wall hanging yet, but I think it is okay. All right, so let me tell you about last week. Okay, I'm gonna start, I said that twice, right? And neither time have I told you about last week. I'm going to actually move up a little bit. I can tell I'm starting to go off of the block just a little bit. So I'm gonna move up just a little bit on here. And I do that fairly often because nothing about this is, I wanna say plumb. It's not straight. So as I'm doing this, I have to keep looking at the block on the other side to make sure I'm still sewing it where I think I'm sewing it or where I need to be sewing it. Yeah, so that's okay. I'm doing okay. So last week, well, I mean, you guys know that, as of last May, I have been retired and working about 2 to 3 hours a week. The purpose of that, so for the same company as a consultant, and I want to make sure I get to the end of this thing here, so I have to go all the way up. The reason I've been working 2 or 3 hours a week once retired was because I was still basically training and answering questions for the person that replaced me. And, oops, that's not going through very well. And which was fine. I enjoy, working 2 or 3 hours a week. It kind of keeps my head in the game, makes me think and all that good stuff. And why isn't that going through? There we go. And, but there was like a big change. You know what? I am not sewing that in the right spot. I have to pull a few of those out. And this is something else I do when I'm doing this. I've had to do this maybe 2 or 3 times before, because I don't know, I'm not sewing in the exact right spot and I'm missing the block, the fabric on the front. And it's okay. I just tear out a few stitches and I just do it again. That's all. But anyway, so now last week when I did no videos, and I really wasn't even on YouTube. So forgive me if I haven't responded to your comments because I literally have not even been on YouTube to watch videos, and which is very rare for me, because I certainly love to watch videos, and I will get back into that. But last week I worked 30 hours in 1 week, and which obviously is very, very, very different. Why is that not going through? I'm doing something wrong here. Let me pull out those last couple stitches. So yeah, 30 hours in 1 week. The week before that was, I don't remember how many hours it was the week before that, but for the past month, they have asked me to help with a project. Now, I've told you guys before, I've explained that, I was a project manager and in the HR department, and I think I need to hold this differently. And so they pulled me back in for a project. And it's kind of comical because, oh, that's better. Okay, good. Another stitch or two. It's kind of comical because, when I started the meetings with them for their project that they've been working on since last year. So they've been working on it for a while. And oh my gosh, it was very scattered. I think that is maybe the best way for me to explain the status of their project. So it took me, I would say, a week, maybe, I don't know how many hours because I don't work all week. I would say maybe 8 to 10 hours in several meetings for me to wrap my head around what are they doing? Honestly. So again, I'm not grabbing it right. I don't know if it's the way I'm holding this, but or because I'm talking, that could have a little something to do with it, but I'm not grabbing the fabric on the front very well. So it was quite scattered, meaning that there were people doing things, but they weren't working as a team, and things just were not getting done. I don't know. It was really odd. So in my typical style, and this has been something that I've done in my whole work life, where when I would start a job, and in some cases the purpose of it would be for me to go in and clean it up. So that's kind of my forte, is taking something that's not in the best of shape as far as work goes, and making it getting it done, right? Getting it done. And anyway, so okay, that's going good now. So after the first week, 8 or 10 hours of meetings and just listening to what the heck they were doing, I was able to really pull it together for them and get them on track. But it's, like I say, taking a lot of hours for me to do that. So, yeah, I'm certainly very thankful for the hours, that's for sure. Let's see, I have to go almost to the end. And, so 30 hours last week. And I knew it was going to be a rough week. I didn't know it was going to be that rough. Now, most of you are probably saying, oh, I wish I could only work 30 hours a week. But you have to remember that, when you retire, at least for me, it was taking time for me to, I want to say, decompress from my job. Because it was, an intense job, and it literally, I was still decompressing, believe it or not, since last May, but definitely getting into my groove. So, I started really basically a whole new life where, I was into the baking from scratch, and the cooking, learning how to cook and gardening and reading and, just really a whole new life. And so now that's all. I haven't really been able to do anything. And of course my videos. It's been difficult to say the least. So the good thing for me is that I just keep checking. I want to make sure. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm not grabbing what I need to be grabbing there. What it is that I don't know if any of you know this, but when you start collecting Social Security, which I started in January of this year, there's a limit, a cap to how much earnings you can make, because I'm not at my full retirement age yet. Once you hit your full retirement age, you can make as much money as you want without penalty. But because I'm not at my full retirement age, I can only make, and this is the law, so, anybody could look this up. For this year, it's $21,200 that you can make in 2023, and have it not affect your Social Security payments. And so I'm getting really, really, really close to that. At this point, I only have, I think it's like 67 or 68 hours left that I can work on this project with them and help them. And so let me make sure. Nope, those last couple stitches, I think I need to stay over a little bit more. I'm trying to sew straight, but straight isn't cutting it, obviously, because, yeah. I don't know. It's okay to keep taking it out. As long as I get it sewn down the right way. I think I need to move over again. And I'm going to stitch on a slant, because apparently that's what I need to do. So anyway, so that's the scoop, and I'm down to about 67 hours or so, and that's not going to get me far. I have to start watching really closely what meetings I'm in, and so that I'm in meetings that will benefit the project the most. And I just want to make sure. I kind of feel like, I need to go over more. So I kind of feel like I could potentially use all of those hours by the end of April. Sorry for the arm. If I'm not careful. And I want to do the best for them that I can. And so I really have to watch what I do over the next few weeks so that I can give them the best that I can for the money. And then that's it. Then I can't work anymore until 2024. So it's going to be weird not working at all, not even my 2 or 3 hours a week. I won't be working, because once I hit that amount, then that's it. That's it for the year. And so anyway, so there's a lot going on, my parents are doing well. Thank you, Lord, for that. And but work is kind of kicking my butt at the moment. And I'm sounding very congested at the moment. I don't feel congested, but I hear it in my voice. I'm not sure why that is. but I can hear it in my voice. So I don't know if I'm coming down with something. I don't know, but I can hear it. But today it is, I started recording this at 9 o'clock Easter morning. So I recorded this yesterday, and my kids are coming over like around 12:30, and my granddaughter, and we tend to have like an early lunch, well, actually late lunch, like 1 o'clock we'll eat, but we have, we tend to have an early meal. Well, we do that for Christmas too, and that's just because that's how my mother always did it, right? When she was in her house. So did I sew all the way around? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Okay, so this is the end. And it's right about almost a half an hour. So we're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna knot this off, and we'll go take the pins out, and we'll take a look at it. Yeah, so at 10 o'clock this morning, I have to put my ham in the oven, and we're having ham. I'm going to make chicken tenders. So I have to make those. I have my hors d'oeuvres. Usually we have shrimp cocktail, but I looked at the prices of the shrimp. I was like, forget that. So I got those pizza rolls. So I have to heat those. All my kids will like those. I got some pepperoni slices. I have cheese and crackers, and that's the stuff my kids will eat. So, and they would eat the shrimp cocktail as well, but this time around, I'm not doing that. So, yep. And then we'll have the ham, the chicken tenders, broccoli I'm going to steam. I bought mashed potatoes. If you've never had the Bob Evans pre-made mashed potatoes, usually they're in by the chicken, like by maybe like the Purdue chicken, the packaged chicken that's breaded, like in there. It's on a display that kind of sits on the shelves where the chicken is. And oh my gosh, it's so good. It's like, why would I spend my time making mashed potatoes, which I don't know. Have I done it twice in my life? I don't know, maybe. Yeah, so I buy them, and it kind of helps me not feel stressed, because I don't want to feel stressed. And trying to organize the timing of everything and all that. We've spoken about that before, and how it does not come naturally to me. So it's kind of easy. And then I bought a couple desserts. I bought this really big brownie, and it has the chocolate icing on the top. It's so good. And then I got some cute little Easter cookies, like I guess sugar cookies or butter cookies, but they're fairly large, and they're pink. Some are pink, some are yellow, some have ducks, some have chicks, just like a little bit of a imprint on them. And yeah, so I'm just trying to think what else. I got my kids each a chocolate bunny, and I got some little chocolate eggs, so I'll put the eggs out, but they'll each get a chocolate bunny. And that's probably about it. I mean, the days of us having an Easter egg hunt are over. Back when my kids were little, and even not little, they would, like when my granddaughter was younger and my kids were in their 20s, they still participated in the Easter egg hunt that I would have for my granddaughter. Yeah, but that's kind of over now. That stopped, I don't know, maybe a couple of years ago. Maybe with COVID that stopped. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know why, but that's kind of what I feel like happened. So let's take these pins out, and let's take a look at this. So we're almost there. We're almost done. So you can definitely see the stitches over here, which I knew. I did that on purpose, right? Yeah, because of this burlap. I wanted to try to sew down some of this very loose burlap on the sides here. And it did. It worked perfectly, and I like that you can see it. This particular block I like a lot because I have, this was like a practice piece of fabric, and it was just, you know, the right color, so I threw it on there. I have my little yo-yo. I have some of the feather stitching. This is one, I have to say, one of my favorite blocks. I love this. I did not sew this. It was a sample piece of fabric, you know, that comes like, you know, the samples comes in like a big block of all different color fabrics and everything. But anyway, so I'm excited to you know, get cooking for Easter. So I'm gonna wrap up this video, and you can see it. I mean, the colors, there's a lot of color going on, but I love it. I do. It's coming out exactly like what I had envisioned in my head. So once we get this sewn, then this is going to go here, and then that's it, and we'll hang it up on the wall. So that is it for today. And again, it's wonderful to be back and doing a video. I have missed it for sure. And yeah, so I will see you next Monday, and we will probably, hopefully, finish this up, this block, and then we'll have to get it sewn down. Yep. So that is it, and I hope that you all had a wonderfully blessed Easter yesterday for those that celebrate it. And I will see you next Monday. Oh, and I have to go watch the Roxy's video so that I can see what the next prompt is. I don't even know. I mean, I've literally not done anything crafty except for sewing down these blocks for like a week. Yeah, so I need to get back in the groove. All right, thanks everybody for being here. Have a blessed week. Bye-bye.